relatively shocking that we were going all the way back to child education and cyber safety, because those are heavily debated topics. Child safety treads the line between security and infringing the right to privacy. And education, again, there's already an infrastructure, and we are uprooting the very foundations of this nation in taking these topics. But personally, once again, I feel like these are necessary topics. In an age of change, in an age of progress and movement, I feel like there is nothing better than to revisit the foundations in which we've come from.
Democracy is when people participate, when people have opportunities and have platforms to come forward and share their perspectives without being sort of knocked down as anti-national or as people are too elite and therefore don't get it. We all should have a voice, and ultimately a democracy is for the people, by the people, of the people. So who better than to ask children about education? Because at the end of the day, they are the recipients of education, and it's they who we're equipping.
What can they contribute? What do they think about the system of education that we have there? Do they think that they can come up with a change? Do they think that this is fine, or we need to bring about amendments? We need to just see if we can do something about the stagnant nature of education that is happening in our country at the moment, because life skills are not really connected to what we are teaching in classroom, the four walls. So
day by day we are connected to other students, and it's like interchange of knowledge and both learning and as well as new ideas, innovative things and all. So it's like getting knowledge from others and understanding each other.
To my surprise, the left wing and the right wing came together in Lok Sabha to form a bill, and I learned that if we work together, then we can have better solutions.
Actually, my mother, she had problems with her family, and they were like, earlier they were with the point of view that we shouldn't educate. So she used to, then my grandmother wasn't supportive of it, but my grandfather wasn't. So my grandmother put her in a school and she got educated. So she's always teaching me that she wants me to become a big personality, and
it's really changing the mindset of our, and so in our villages we'll tell our parents to develop government schools.
One of my expectations coming into this was coming up with a really important or effective bill related to improving the quality of education in India, and also how we can bring in both holistic learning and standardized learning in a very well incorporated way.
Many information I learned, and what's the current situation of the education system of India. So what India is lacking behind, and what is going on in the political system of India. I got lots of knowledge, so through which I can support the civil society people to put in laws.
The media actually should act the way the kidneys do, in the sense of cleansing the governance system of the impurities.
You see, this is where civil society comes in. You see, because you are also all consuming media, and you cannot expect media to investigate the story, break the story, take all the lawsuits, and then take the story forward as well.
I do an IB board, so I do community service a lot, and it's compulsory, it's mandatory for us. Now, it was like a compulsory thing that if I don't do community service, I will not pass. That's the board. But after being a part of the civil society, I want to make a change. I want to do service, and as service is one of the ideals for Round Square, it's so motivating over here that I want to make a change.
Going around to all the committees, it's really exciting to see how delegates from all over the country are coming in and have sort of going beyond their own barriers of MUN or model parliament as they know it, and are willing to take part in an activity that's larger than all of us and something that really impacts our future.
The thought of posting my every thought, my every move, my every travel or conversation I've had online, which a lot of students do, completely appalls me. So I'm not really exposed to the dangers that they are.
I think there is this element of attractiveness, addiction that is all connected one after the other and with each other. And the children just see that they don't see what comes beyond.
So one of the most interesting things that I believe came out of the Lok Sabha session was definitely strengthening reporting mechanisms for child abuse online. Although the Parliament currently has a couple of privately owned initiatives, there is nothing on a large scale that has matched the efficacy of something like, say, the 1098 helpline. So the Lok Sabha did discuss and come up with a nationally centered helpline, and I believe this, along with the online reporting platform that they discussed in committee and voted upon, were both excellent solutions, and I really think would be of a lot of use in on a global scenario.
We're asking a lot from the students. We are definitely looking for creative solutions, very innovative ideas, and things that only a child's outlook can find. That was very much demonstrated during the civil society meeting. We had an emergency parliamentary session with the civil society, and they definitely gave us very childish outlooks. But here I personally use childish as a very positive connotation to the words that I say, because here I think we need some childishness. I think we need some simplicity. The outlooks that they gave were extremely user-friendly, easy to implement, and perhaps they may not have been the most technically advanced. They may not have been the most communicative, but I feel like the innovation came from a spark that only a child could give.
And there's some great ideas coming through. You know, they're talking about know your customer policies, they're talking about digital devices which would enable you to know who a person really is in the same way that you do in a bank, and how, unless you actually answer certain questions to demonstrate that you've learned what the privacy settings are, you would actually be taken off the account. Now that may sound draconian for some, but you know, if you consider the dangers out there and the impact, like video game addiction, so they're talking about how you could have a timeout after a certain time, the ability to pause something. So this is great stuff to take to a company and say, hey, here's what we, the children, would like from you. It's great to take to an ISP provider, to a video gaming company, to the Googles of the world, to take to the government, and you know, try to figure out what regulations, what incentives, what sort of education is and what sort of technology is required to ensure that we truly get the benefits of the internet and the cyber world.
I would say we do have answers. Are they the right answers? We don't know yet as of right now. However, through more exposure and gaining various global perspectives from the people we meet, the things we do, maybe those will turn out to be the right answers. Maybe they won't, but if we can take away anything from our experiences, we could have all the answers tomorrow, if not today.